Gervinho, whose full name is actually Gervasio Kouassi, stepped into the limelight after being signed by Arsenal in the summer of 2012. Being from the Ivory Coast, Gervinho's career so far had been in Belgium and France and came to Wenger's attention while he was at the Football Factory of France, also known as Lille. Gervinho was signed for a total of £10.8 million and was looking to become one of the most dynamic midfielders in the world. Having scored a total of 18 goals and 11 assists in his last season at Lille, the Emirates Stadium was welcoming him in with open arms as he put on an impressive performance during the 2011-12 pre-season. On his Premier League debut, it already started to go wrong. In the 75th minute, Gervinho attempts to take on Newcastle defenders and falls to the ground, looking for a penalty. Joey Barton, infamous for his on-the-pitch brawls, turns around and faces off with Gervinho, provoking him for no real reason. Gervinho, unable to contain himself, lays a hand on Barton and does not only receive a red card for his actions, but also ended up with a 3-match ban. After his red card suspension was up, Gervinho scored on his first game back against Blackburn, and a few games later had a memorable performance against Stoke, but other than that, he was seen as a mediocre and did not perform as many expected. He would trip over the ball, his first touch was very questionable, and his confidence was nowhere to be found. He did sometimes have good moments, being able to bring the ball upfield and successfully dribble, but his finishing was, well, let's say it's something to be forgotten for all Arsenal supporters. He ended up with 4 goals in that Premier League season, but he did reach the AFCON final with the Ivory Coast in 2012, losing on penalties to Zambia. The next season at Arsenal was similar, but this time with 5 goals in the Premier League and 2 goals in the Champions League, having been benched 11 times, which definitely made him more efficient than last season, but still not living up to the expectations. In 2013, Gervinho was shown the door. According to Wenger, he needed a new challenge because he lacked confidence at Arsenal. AS Roma signed the winger for €8 million, and boy was he worth it. It was like a curse was lifted. Gervinho had one of his best seasons ever, scoring and assisting 12 times, being one of the key reasons why Roma finished second in the league and qualifying them for the Champions League, with Francesco Totti, an AS Roma legend, crediting him as a beast. The following season, however, the magic had worn off slightly, coming third in the Champions League group and exiting the last 16 against their fellow Italian side Fiorentina, but coming second again in the Serie A. But the next season took a turn many didn't see coming. Gervinho had a smashing start to the 15-16 season, scoring and assisting in 5 games straight before getting injured, but the Roma fans were excited that the Ivorian was back in form, hoping to win the Scudetto this year around. Due to a few injuries, Gervinho was out for a few games and didn't really perform again until the January transfer window came about. At the end of January, Gervinho was in transfer rumours with HAPPPENED FC, a Chinese Super League team, as well as Al Jazeera, a team in the United Arab Emirates. He ended up signing with the newly promoted Chinese Super League side for €18 million due to the deal breaking down with the Emiratis, as he demanded a helicopter as well as a private beach to sign for them. In an interview with the L'Equipe, he said, "It's certain that, on a sporting and cultural level, it's completely different to what I've known so far, but I no longer had the motivation or desire to remain in Europe. Even if I can't say that I will never go back, my European career has finished. I've started a new one on another continent." But money was definitely a motivation, as Gervinho was making £165,000 a week with a £50,000 appearance fee on top of that, as well as a £130,000 goal bonus. Gervinho scored 3 goals and assisted 5 times in his first 12 games at the Chinese side, but after that things did not look all too good. There's almost no information of why he wasn't called up to the squad in the middle of the season, but he missed out multiple games and was suspended for 3 games, having received a red card for stamping on an opponent. Then, in the 2017 season, he spent the first few months in the reserves team, until he eventually returned to the first team to score and assist once, until he was not in the squad again for the rest of the season. So, if you do know what happened to Gervinho during this time, please comment down below the reason why he wasn't a part of the squad and why he was sent to play with the reserves. Whatever happened, it definitely wasn't good, because after half an atrocious season in the Chinese Super League, HAPPPENED FC released Gervinho for free in the middle of the season to Parma, returning to the Serie A once again. And Gervinho, again, performed exceptionally in the Italian league, scoring 11 goals and getting 3 assists in 30 games, and mostly only missed games due to muscular problems. The next 2 games were scarily similar to what happened to him in Rome, as Gervinho's performance became more and more inconsistent, continuing with less goal contributions. His 3-year contract was up, and Gervinho signed with Trabzonspor as a free agent. This ended in disaster as well though, as he suffered a cruciate ligament rupture in his 9th appearance for the Turkish side, leaving him unable to play for the rest of the season. Last summer, Gervinho left Turkey and signed for Aris Thessaloniki, a mid-table top-flight Greek side, where so far he has not played a full 90 minutes in the 11 games that he started in, was benched twice, received a suspension through the Greek sports court, and has not been in the Thessaloniki squad for the past 26 games. As it seems something must have gone wrong again with the Ivorian and there are no public press releases regarding the situation, I reached out to Dimkara_, an Aris Thessaloniki fan on Reddit, to find out what's going on at Aris FC. He had the following to say about the matter. We don't really know the details, but he for sure had a falling out with the president and club, didn't contribute as much as expected, and was signed on a huge contract for Aris standards at least. Nobody really had very big expectations when we signed Gervinho, since he's way out of his prime and had an ACL tear just last year, but our president probably thought Gervinho would help our marketing image and stature, since he's one of the most relatively famous players to play for us. But ultimately, he had fitness problems, wasn't good when he did play, and was a huge part of our wages. I think he hasn't officially been released as of yet, but surely he will be soon. Where to, however, is still unknown. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye!